Chief Demkiw has responded to concerns raised during the high-profile trial of Umar Zameer, who was found not guilty over the weekend in the death of a Toronto police officer. Demkiw has now called on the OPP to investigate concerns of collusion between the officers after the judge raised concerns about their sworn testimony. In his statement yesterday, Demkiw also ordered an internal review of plainclothes policing that would look at all aspects of the process, including equipment and procedures for officer and public safety. Now, the officers testified that Constable Northrup, who was wearing plain clothes while investigating a stabbing the night it happened, was hit head-on by Zameer's vehicle the night he was killed. However, a collision reconstructionist testified that Northrup was likely knocked over when he was sideswiped while Zameer's car was reversing. The judge told the jury to consider if the officers colluded, which the defense alleged they lied on the stand. Officers, though, have denied that there was any collusion. Now, in announcing their views, Chief Demkiw also addressed a comment he made about hoping for a different outcome, writing, "As I've done my whole career, I respect the judicial process and I accept the decision of the jury. Perhaps closure in a tragic event of this magnitude will come with time. As chief, I was acknowledging the emotions many of us were feeling while struggling with the death of a fellow officer. But of course, closure can never come at the expense of justice." Now, former OPP Commissioner and CTV's public safety analyst Chris Lewis says plainclothes policing has its issues.
And when they take enforcement action, trying to identify themselves as police officers is always a concern. And there's been a number of instances over the years that I recall where there was close calls, where plainclothes officers, old clothes officers, were either use of force was used against them physically by a police officer who didn't know that they're kind of a plainclothes officer. And in one case, I recall actually pointing a gun at an officer in a biker raid that looked more like a biker than he did a cop, and he had no identification, a badge around his neck, an armband, or anything to indicate that he was an officer. So I can see some concern around that.
The actions of some politicians who publicly condemned Zameer before his trial being questioned. When Zameer was released on bail in the fall of 2021, Premier Ford expressed his disapproval on social media, calling the decision completely unacceptable. Then Toronto Mayor John Tory and Brampton's Mayor Patrick Brown also denounced the decision. At the time, the reasons for the ruling could not be publicly disclosed because of a publication ban, but the ban is now lifted because the trial is over. In her decision, the bail judge found, among other things, the Crown had a weak case for murder.
I think, that's up to the Premier. I hope that he's learned something about the importance of not politicizing an ongoing case.
And John Tory, former Toronto mayor and current CTV municipal affairs expert, has issued a statement. It reads, in part, despite pressure from the media and the public to comment on these kinds of matters, one should wait until significantly important information is available, including judicial reasons. He goes on to say the judicial system owes it to the public officials, and the media to do a better job of ensuring significant information surrounding bail decisions is made widely known. And the Premier has not commented on the verdict from this past weekend.